are finally in a studio. It has been a long time coming, y'all.
Yes.
It's been such a journey for us, but we are finally in the studio, and y'all...
It feels so much better,
It does.
I mean, you know, we good with the OG one mic and laptop, but just being in the studio is just, it gives you a different vibe.
It
like,
do.
It just
feels,
it's more comfortable for me.
It is, and we know that we can all hear each other.
We can hear the mics are great. We done upgraded to wireless headphones now, so Lauren don't have to talk about turn myself up. I can't hear you. You adjust your own volume.
I was always doing that.
I know y'all noticed y'all only hear me in low.
That's because
Chloe stopped by a train.
Girl, Chloe
Houston traffic ain't no joke, okay?
It really is.
So we just gonna go and flow.
We're gonna
and she gonna hop in like double dutch.
Exactly. She's gonna hop in when she gets here.
Okay. So where you want to start?
So how you feeling? How you feeling today? Let's start there.
Let's start there.
Please.
How are you feeling?
I'm feeling okay. I'm feeling proud. I try to. Moving forward, I'm trying to keep mine positive, even when I'm not feeling. You know, I'm trying
Law
to speak
of attraction.
that. Exactly.
God is good.
So I'm actually very proud. I'm proud of myself for making sure that I am together at all times. So when I say together, I know that sounds crazy. When I say together, I mean like mentally together. Mm-hmm. My energy is together. My spirit is together. In all situations. I came across a situation today that I normally, you know what I mean? Like it would have really had a different effect on me. But it did. It had the same effect, but my reaction was different. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
So it's really not about the effect, but my reaction was different. So I'm proud of myself that I was able to react differently. And yeah, because that's what I've been asking for. If y'all remember, like I always,
you should feel proud because you know it's like you've been taking that test and you closer to
you
passing, and you pass the test.
Exactly.
Okay?
If y'all listen, y'all already know. I always be like, man, I just want to get to the point to where I can that step before the shit happened. Like I want to know the step before, and I feel like today was that moment where I knew the step. I got the step before.
I think that's Chloe.
Look at
Chloe.
That's
gross.
So I'm
good.
proud. Today I'm feeling proud.
Yes.
For my damn self. Okay. What about you? What about you, boo?
My word is recharged. Because, you know, I posted on the story on Monday about me going to the Woman Evolve Refuse to Lose conference that was held by Sarah Jakes Roberts. And when I say, like, the room.
That spirit was thick.
I mean, she had you holding people's hand that you didn't know. She had you looking in people's eyes that you didn't know. Like, she said, turn to your neighbor or find a sister. That's what they kept saying. Find a sister, because sometimes the roads were uneven and stuff like that.
That's right.
So we ended up, I went with my friend Vantonia. I was just in her wedding. Love her. Thank you. When we turned around, because they didn't have someone, we ended up in like a circle.
Wow.
And they were like, she's like, look into your sister's eyes. And she's like, find the winner. Find the winner in her eyes. And so we're staring each other in the eye, like having a very intimate moment. And I'm just like, thank you, God. Then we wrote, we holding hands, praying, wailing, letting it out. So now I'm like, I got get your mind right. Just sum it up. Get your mind right. It's definitely real thick and nice. Okay.
Right.
Hey, Chloe.
Hey, Chloe.
Hey,
y'all. Choo choo.
Let's start
I
over.
think I can.
We in a new studio. Leave that shit at the
I hate
door.
Houston.
Come on.
No, bitch. The traffic was ridiculous today.
Houston.
I'm so sorry.
I was
Besides
over
the traffic being a mess, there is a train blocking all intersections to get here.
Ridiculous.
But God finds a way.
Look,
and I'm
where there's a
here.
will, there's a way.
So
we literally just said when she get here, and
Yeah.
you pulled up 2 seconds
Let's
after.
go.
So
Come
look
on.
at God.
He delivers. Okay.
Look at y'all brown shirts.
Okay.
Look at you, your sweet and female shirt, y'all. We came in a new studio representing. Okay. He's like, they got to know who we are
in our new home.
So
how you feeling, Chloe?
It's
Besides
so
hating
cute.
traffic,
I'm good. You
Good.
know, the small things to a pimp. You know,
This girl. Y'all come and get
She
Alexander
slid that
out
in
of
there.
here.
get it how you
Still a
live.
pimp.
You know, I wasn't gonna let it
To a
stress me
pimp.
out, but I was like, I got one more U-turn to
Look,
make before
yeah.
I am
Girl,
back
Y'all,
the road
babe,
to
this one,
Rosenberg.
let me tell y'all something. She said, before I go home.
I go home.
I said,
And she had the nerve to say that while we were recording.
Sonara said, before you, she go home. I'm like, bitch,
That
drop
was
your
my
pen,
third
bitch.
try.
We will come pull up on you before you
Shoot,
go home.
I'm already an hour away from
Look,
my
I'm
house.
so sorry.
55. We almost in Galveston.
Jesus.
All right, so I
What
know
y'all
that.
talk about?
Bitch, what?
Bitch, what? Y'all know I've been off of social media, so I don't know what's going
Oh,
on.
I dropped. So,
Oh, yeah. Moneybag Yo.
okay, so I was cruising over through our beautiful babe, Jay Duffy's Instagram, because she is gorgeous. Y'all follow Jay Duffy?
I don't.
The DJ? Okay, anyway. So I saw a post, and it was her screenshotting her comment on the post. But let me go to it real quick. The post said, and this is from Sir Moneybag Yo.
Sir Moneybag Yo.
One word.
Sir,
One word, bitch.
yo.
One whole word. Okay.
I love it.
Just in the messages.
So I think I did. It is in the messages. Thank you. Y'all, this man says, this is a post that he said, damn, we be texting a lot. Dang.
Business.
Can't even
Here
find
you
the
go right here.
text.
Huh.
Let's go to your
Okay. Thank
images.
you.
I got you.
You're right.
I know. I ain't think about that.
Okay.
As I'm scrolling.
So Moneybag Yo says, hashtag dime can be bad ASF, mean as fuck, but keep you with a headache, come with so many problems, and wants you to keep her polished up. Polished up.
Polished.
Okay. Hashtag Penny can be basic, but she loyal. Treat you like a king. Do everything you ask and more. Question, which one you want? Hashtag 1, 2, 3, let's go. So Jay Duffy commented and said, I must be both. Call me 11 cents.
Hello.
Because, okay. First, so I wanted to know.
I didn't even see her comment, bruh.
Girl.
That's the
Hilarious.
first thing I seen. Is my new nickname, 11 cents.
Okay. When I saw it, it raised my eyebrows. Because I'm like, this is like, what? It made no sense to me. So I really want to know what y'all thought about it. Like, what do y'all think about that? Like, what is that about? Oh.
I'm with
Comments,
Jay Duffy. I must
thoughts?
be 11 cents. Sometime maybe 2. Because
I
I
just
ain't
be
doing
like-
all that dime stuff. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I never understood what a dime is and why, to me.
It's just so much deeper than what he
But no,
said
when
to
did
me,
a
'cause it's
dime
like-
become everything that is like materialistic? And why can't a dime just be
I thought
a beautiful
was something that was pretty.
person?
I had
Someone who values themselves. That's what
Right.
I thought it was. Period.
Yeah.
All across the board. I mean, that's what I mean, growing up, like, even how I'm looking for a dime.
Yeah,
that's top of the line, cute face and weight with a big behind. Hey, and it say nothing in there about nothing else. But
keeping
that,
me polished.
okay, keeping her polished up.
Polished like
I'm just
China.
like, my biggest thing was, as men, they be
reaching.
I just
Extra.
don't like,
But then
it's like you're glorifying
what are
a girl
you?
to be stupid.
that's the question.
Exactly. And what are you?
What are you? I feel like women
piece
have
of
all
land.
these different like categories of what they be, and I'm just like, but how? What are y'all? What are you bringing to the table, Moneybag Yo?
Money. That's it. And you know, a money and a career. I guess I ain't him. I'm
That's
just
your
saying.
money.
I'm just saying.
Your career.
I just think it's funny that a man will. They do the most to manipulate women into being stupid.
Yeah.
Into literally laying on your back and letting a nigga just roll all over you and it just be okay. Like,
hold you down.
But see, as the deeper topic of the show, which we're going to go into a little bit later, kind of goes into what Moneybag Yo's perception of a dime.
and where that comes from.
You messing with these particular type of women who you have put a title on as a dime, which doesn't even... It's not even defined as a dime.
It's your
you know what I'm saying? But it's your perception.
Yeah.
So you mad at all these different type of women that you messing with and mad now and claiming that you want a penny. Which a penny is just, to me, what you described as just a good woman. And it's a lot of us out here. But why we gotta be penny?
But why I gotta be a penny? Because a penny correlates to 1 cent. The penny is like the lowest value of money that is in currency.
Yeah.
So why is it that it just doesn't make any sense?
But
so,
but you see how he classifies a good woman as a penny.
Come on, it's deep.
It's deep. That's why I said it's
just
deeper
like,
than his
what?
post. It's something wrong with his.
It's something wrong with
He
him.
need
It's
to get his mind
perception. A good woman is a penny, and a thought basically is a dime. Help me make sense of it, Moneybag Yo, because I don't get it.
I mean, when you said a penny, you said it's a lot of good women out here. You can walk outside and find a penny on the ground.
But,
like you can find
do you find a dime? It's rare. You're going to find you a dime just laying around.
But you're going to put up with more to look for that dime. Whatever.
It's so deep. I wish we had a psychologist in this bitch so they be like, they can break that shit down.
I'm going to go to school.
I mean, like I said, that's just Moneybag Yo perception of who he be dealing with.
No, for sure. I definitely agree with that. I agree that it's from personal experience.
Right.
Definitely.
And like I said, the bigger issue is that what you classify as a dime is the people that you don't like. That's the crazy part.
But you still chase after them, though.
Yeah. So I don't know.
Yeah, weird. I just think it's fucked up that men they try to manipulate women into being dumb and just doing whatever
or categorized or I don't know. It's just I don't know.
It's just whack. It's just whack to me. Like don't be trying to make me feel like what you say? But she loyal. Can be basic. Can be basic, but she's loyal and like what?
What's his definition?
Do everything you ask and more. Why I gotta do everything you ask and more?
So she's basic, submissive.
Exactly.
So she ugly. That's basically what you're saying.
Exactly. Okay, we're not gonna feed no more energy into that. Let's recover with beauty.
Oh, that's it. Okay.
Yeah, cause
yeah. So with the beauty corner, I basically was just gonna talk about the beauty and growth and how beautiful it is just to grow and see progress. I noticed like in my own self that when I'm not setting goals and reaching those goals or progressing, I feel like I'm really not living, and I'm just here, and I just
this is alignment because my get your mind right, girl.
Really?
Yes.
So
grow.
It's just like in order like you're not doing anything if you're not growing. So I think that that's beauty corner. That there's beauty and growth. There's always beauty and growth. Sometimes it's gonna be hard. Growing pains are very hard. I know you guys. If you are a OG or a VIP babe, you know
love that.
You've heard our struggles with growing pains. I feel like for a whole month, Chloe's how you feeling was just growing pains.
Yeah.
Just growing pains.
Yeah.
That's my life.
Right.
How you
feeling? All of us,
just
honestly.
Growing.
We're in a cocoon.
Yeah. So it's a beautiful thing. So babe, if that's you, if you feel like, you're going through growing pains or if you feel like you're not growing at all, just understand how it is a beautiful thing. And if you're not growing at all, figure out ways that you can grow. And if you're going through growing pains, just take that shit like a champ and keep it moving and know it's going to be better.
Yeah.
It's
always a pot of gold on the other side.
It is.
Look at John.
It is, though.
Always a pot of gold.
Always a pot of gold.
What about you? Get your mind right.
Y'all, are y'all ready for this?
We ready for Sarah Jakes Roberts. Sadar was in the text message like Sarah said. I said, that's your friend. SJR. That's your friend.
At this point, we're sisters.
Yeah.
The way she put
It's
that
funny,
word
I've had
on
a
me.
lot of friends who attended that. Not the one in Houston, but Chicago.
The actual convention.
The one in Chicago.
I was sitting 2 rows behind Chanel. I think we went to school with her. I seen so many people that I knew from school, from church, from like out in the world. The lady at the door, like the security checking the tickets, she's like, I know you from somewhere.
That's great. I didn't even know she was in town, so that's amazing.
A lot of people did, and I was like, yo.
It's been on, it's on
I seen it on
media.
Facebook and Instagram. Yeah, and I was like, oh, yeah.
I don't know what's going on in the world.
Got to be a part. All right, come on. So, like you said, it's beauty and growth. I'm fit to put your growth to the test. So, it's kind of like a work assignment. It's a self-assessment pretty much. What you're going to do is we're always talking about change. We want to grow. We talk about change, but we never really implement it. So now I'm going to just give you one thing to do, or it might sum up to 2 or 3, to make sure you are growing. Okay? So this is the question. When you want change in your life, you need to ask yourself, how long am I willing to wait to see change or to make that change? Now, it's going to be, for everything, it's going to be a different time frame. For every person, it's going to be different. Maybe I'm going to set mine for 30 days. You'll set yours for 60. You might set yours for 14. You need it now. So, once we have a time frame of how long you're willing to wait, you go on your phone, because, we're a phone generation. We're in a phone time. Go to however many days. Go to that date in your calendar. Set an alarm. So, when that date comes, you're going to, inside of that, in the notes section, or rather in your reminder section, you're going to put the things that you want to see changing in that time frame. So once that alarm goes off in that day, you can open up your calendar and you see then you do a reassessment. Have these things changed? If they haven't changed, am I willing to wait longer? If you're not willing to wait longer, let it go. Because now you're just occupying space that you could be using to focus on something that you're really working towards.
All right.
So I've started. I'm going to just let you guys know I got like 30 days for a nice little long list. But if it's not there, like, it's going to be really hard for me because I'm a fixer. I like projects. I like to fix things. I like to sit on things. So what I'm going to do, I'm starting my list, 30 days. When I get to that 30 days, if those things have not changed or if they're not changing or if we have not made some sort of progress, I'm going to either reevaluate if I'm going to wait longer, give myself maybe another 2 weeks or so, or I'm letting it go. And it has to be a hard decision because I'm always so overwhelmed and anxious, and I see that a lot in us. And it's because we're trying to do so many things, and we want to work on so many things, but we don't have time to touch everything. So now we're just going to organize our life, give myself 30 days. Okay, what am I going to do? Set your plan and stuff. And when that alarm go off in 30 days, open it up. Now it's time to clean house.
Do you prioritize, though, the things that are most important to you versus the ones that may be a little bit can wait past 30? Like, how do you
Right, so you make a decision. How long?
Oh, okay.
Like, it's whatever it is. Say, okay, I want a new job. I'm tired of my job.
Right.
So how long am I willing to wait till I get to that next step? So that means within however long that time span is, I'm working to tackle this issue so I can check it off my list. Because the thing is, we're setting goals, we're setting intentions, but we're not checking them off our list. We're just looking at them. So now this is where your time frame is like, okay, I'm on, like you're saying, it's either money or time. Those two are most important to us. So if we paying for something, we going to show up. If we have a deadline, we going to meet that deadline because that's what we're used to doing working. So you just put that with your actual personal goals and intentions, and that's how you clear a space in your brain and other time for you to do what you want to do.
I hear you. I like that.
Set an alarm.
I like that. Yeah.
You've been sleeping. Set the alarm clock.
Wake up.
Stay woke.
Quotables. I missed the
I
quotables.
love it.
All right, let's get to meat and potatoes, y'all.
Okay.
Let's move. We need a transition, like a. So I did actually copy. I went through our text messages because we text a lot. So I'm just gonna send y'all. I wrote down the different points that you want to talk about, as well as thank you guys for participating in the poll. Because that's going to help. Okay, for all of y'all. Here y'all go.
I appreciate y'all for voting.
Good job,
please, because we didn't waste our time. That's the stuff.
I have the questions on that, too.
Oh.
So
okay,
the whole point,
yeah.
So the show, and maybe Lo, you can explain it different because I know this was like your brain beauty of what you were thinking, but we wanted to talk about how do people.
Yeah.
Because we're always so like confused or laugh at like how people perceive things and how they move, and it's just like, how did you get that? Or why are you doing that? Like, why are you this way? Who raised you?
Right.
And I know for me, when it comes to like, I'm really good at like trying to understand people and understand that people are not me. So I always try to be completely open to situations.
Right.
And know that nothing is intentional. I always try to lead with that with me, and when I give advice to people when they're hurt or whatever like that, like most of everything that people do is not intentional. Now, there are some bad people in this world who intentionally do try to like hurt you, but most of the times
I feel like
things are not intentional. It's just
perception.
That's just this perception. It's just all I know. So, yeah, what were your like takes on how do people like? Where
people laugh at me when I say that because I've asked people in different. Y'all are the only people who really opened up to. Yeah. How do people? When as soon as I said it, y'all were like, you know what? And you knew, but when I said it to other people, like, do you ever wonder how people? And they're like, what?
I think
and
a lot of
laugh.
times,
I'm like,
because I think
you're who I'm talking about.
The bottom line in everything, the bottom line in everything is like communication and stuff. And I feel the reason why I thought about this is because a lot of times when we communicate with people, like that's where we get most of our questions from. Like, what the fuck? Like, why do you think like that? Or why did you think that was cool? Or why did you say it like this? Or why did you take what I said like this? I know I've had those problems a lot, like just in my life, like people taking things differently than the way that I intend for them to be taken. Right. So I think that was like the beginning of the whole journey. Like, okay, everybody have different perspective about things or whatever.
And I just got that.
And what do y'all think that's based on? It's based on environment,
the
things
way
that
you was
raised,
raised,
how you were brought up, what you're experiencing right now, all that.
Your past, your experience, like all of that. And I think it's so important. The reason why I think this episode is so important because I feel like if we can shed light on that, I think it can help the next babe, like to think on a different level and to not like low key take yourself through like all this emotional shit off of somebody else.
It just helps you not to take things personal.
That's right.
And that's my biggest problem. It's just like, and
it's to not take things personal, but to also just see it from a different perspective. Right. Because sometimes, bitch, it is personal.
And not even that. It's okay.
You're wrong. You know, like sometimes
it's a miscommunication.
Now, I won't say you're wrong, but it's just like the way the person is perceiving it. Your answer might not be right. There may be another right answer. I guess that's what I'm trying to say.
Or the answer that they're looking for.
Right.
Based off of how they were raised and where they came from.
Because in your logic, it may be right, but I'm like, because they thought slavery was right.
Yeah.
Who raised you like that?
But that's the environment, though.
That's the environment.
But you know, we knew that there's people that knew it was wrong.
Right.
So it's just like, okay, are we going to do what's right or are we going to do what's norm or standard?
But it's crazy because using that example, which I don't like.
I
get it.
It's like,
but I get it, though.
I was thinking of another one, but I'm like,
no, but it's realistic, though. It's reality. There are most situations where a lot of people our age are still very, like, systematically racist just because that's who their parents are. They don't know no better. Sometimes I always tell myself, like, when I interact with people who are not black, I always try to put in perspective, like, sometimes I may be the only person of color that they've interacted with the whole day. Yes. So I have to make a certain impression on who we are as a person because 9 times out of 10, you ain't interacting with people like me.
You can't because you're acting like this.
So it's just like, let me show you who we could be and give you a different perspective because I know where you at. It ain't all positive.
Or what you've experienced hasn't been great.
And sometimes I can't be mad at you for that because I'm just like, you know what? You don't know no better.
And see, point. Yeah. Here's one, and this is, I don't want to turn this into like a race thing, but that's a really big point.
Yeah.
Because I believe us as a culture, we don't do that. We don't. And for whatever reason, I don't know if people feel like it's loyalty or don't show your cards to the other races or whatever. But at the end of the day, the truth is the truth. Facts are facts. There are black people that act like that. Yeah. There are black people who do the exact thing that this other race is expecting. And they're expecting it because they've seen it before.
Exactly.
So, like you said, it's better to just be like, you know what? I can understand how you can feel like that, or not to tell them, but just to be like, okay, you know, I'm pretty sure they probably seen another black person do that, and I don't take offense to it. But
okay, so what do you think is a resolve for that though?
Education, communication.
But see, okay, I'm glad you said that because everyone's not open to educating.
Of course
I've talked to people like that. I'm like, how can you be upset at a certain person treating you a certain way when you don't? You have to tell people how to treat you
because they don't want progress, boo.
Exactly.
They don't want you to. They don't want a solution. They just want to continue to complain about it.
That's
they
not even a race thing. This is how people think.
Yeah.
Because it's like you think that I'm just supposed to read your mind. Because I know I felt that way in my relationship. I'm like, well, you should know how to whatever.
I've been there,
but they don't.
Yeah, because when you get to the how to treat you. When you get to the bottom line of like, what do you want? So I want it. So if you want to be heard, I want for my partner or my friend to hear me. Then you're gonna say something. It's the same with anything. When we was little, we told people we need to use the restroom. What you gonna do? Pee on yourself?
Hello.
No, you gonna say, hey, I gotta use the restroom. You don't expect for people to realize that. So ultimately, the reason why I know I did it, and I don't know for you, but me, I'm like. Because I used to be like that, too. Like, you should know.
Yeah.
But after a while, it's like, okay, bitch, well, how he supposed to?
He can't
and are you going to be stuck on the fact that he's not a mind reader?
Yeah.
Or are you going to find a solution and be in a relationship that you like and want to be in and say, okay, and basically put your pride aside.
Yeah, it's your desire. If you want it bad enough, you're going to do what it takes.
Yeah.
Just communicate. And realize that comes from an upbringing, too. That comes from
because some people are stuck in their ways.
That comes from
and it's just like you can't tell them. I've encountered people like that where I'm like, I'm holding your hand and I'm like, listen, you're not alone. Like you do not have to be like this. You are not a product of your environment or your past. Like you're not that. Let's try different. But they mind so Like it's mental.
It's hard for me to deal with like people. I'm a very nice person, but I'm not a friendly person, if that makes sense. Like I personally hate dealing with people, just because for our topic and it says people. It's like everyone. It's just too many different personality, growing traits, just too many things for me to soak in one day, that I'd much rather be kind of alone, because I'm just like, I am the type of person that sometimes I would cross people or have interactions with people and be like, you're dumb. That was stupid. What the fuck? Okay. Why?
Or just help me gauge how to handle people. Like, I can only deal with you on this type of level. We can't have deep conversations. That's fine. Or we can't talk about religion because you're going to piss me off and I'm going to have to pray more. It's like you have to put people in certain areas. You can't deal with people every day. In some categories. Now work is a good one. Is a good way to practice. Cause, that's where I'm at now. I'm in the office by myself. I'm like, don't come up in here. Yeah. Because I'm like, the role you play in my life right now.
There's people like extra.
That. But, so let's get into the questions that we have.
Yes. I mean, it was a good little.
I know.
There's one that really surprised me.
I had wanted to. So I created the poll because I wanted to kind of see. I wanted our audience to kind of help us, like, formulate this discussion that we're trying to have. Sometimes, y'all, we just be talking without a focal point, but we make sense.
Yes.
Like,
we
it makes
just
sense.
Like our caption says, candid conversations. By women. So.
But we always like to draw you guys into our conversation. So I put up a poll a couple of days ago, and a lot of you voted and, did the yes and no. We appreciate you. But the first question I asked was, do you define yourself through the relationships you have? Because that's a big thing on how people is based off of their relationships. And when I say relationships, I mean like romantic, work, friends. Like, so with you two, do you guys define who you are based off of your relationships?
It depends.
Now
I'm like, I can one person said now. I'm trying to see if that was me.
Now, and
6 voted for yes. 1 person said no.
Right.
Say the question one more time.
Do you define yourself based off of the relationships you have?
No, I don't. Who I am isn't defined by the relationships. They're a part of me, but they are not the essence of Lauren.
Let me ask you this though: do you think outside people can define you based off of the relationships that you have? You are the company that you keep.
That's why that's so important.
I think that they can. I think they can get an idea of the type of person if that's the type of person. Because when I hear, what's the actual wording again? Like, define. When I hear that, I feel like that's so deep. It's so much deeper. Like, that's like your definition of like the soul and the root of you. So when it comes like to my personality, I feel like they could possibly figure out the type of person I am, or about who I surround myself with.
Because the way I took it, like, I'm saying, yes, I let it define who I am, because depending on the relationship we have, you're going to get a different person. Because I'm not going to... the relationship we have is not the relationship I have with my husband.
Right.
The relationship we have is not the relationship I have with my family. It's similar. You might get the same type of me, but there's different parts of me that not everyone has access to. So that's what I took it as, and that's why I said, because depending on the type of relationship we have is... who I'm going to be to you. Yeah. Or who I'm going to be in our situation.
Yeah, I took it like Sonara as well when I posed the question. Me, I feel like I do define myself off of the relationships that I have, just because I feel like my friends, family, work, everything is like, it's like a branch of me. Like, I'm the tree root, and like the relationships that I have are like branches of me. You know what I'm saying? So, my friends, like I purposely pick friends who like so into this tree branch or whatever, just because they're an extension of me. And these are the same people that, like, low key, I kind of see it as like define me when I'm not there. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you out and about somewhere, people could associate Sonara and Chloe with Lauren. And so you're a product of me in a sense. So it's just like you kind of define me when you're out and about, because when people come back to me and be like, oh, I met Lauren. She was such a beautiful soul. She's this and that and the third. And I'm like, I know. That's why I got her on my... That's why I got on my tree.
My tribe.
Yeah.
Come on.
You know, because she's a part of me. Yeah. That's me.
Yeah.
My mother, of course that. But, even romantic relationships, as I'm sure how you guys picked your mates, is just like... Because when Danny is not around Lauren, you would expect him to behave a particular way, because in hindsight, he's a representation of who you are.
And that's what I'm saying. I think that represent. I don't know. When I hear define, I think of like if I didn't have these, I wouldn't be who I am.
Oh no, I didn't. I get what you're saying.
It's like, to me, I'm thinking like define, like who I am. So if I needed to know who Chloe is, I would have to go through. I would need to talk to. I will be able to look at the relationship she's in and know who she is.
But see, you were just about to say to find out who Chloe is. You don't think that you can go through like her friends and her circle to find out who she is? And does that not mean defining?
Yeah, I mean, I guess I just don't. I don't define it. I don't, because to me that's like too much power. I feel like you must have been that one though. I didn't answer at all. You didn't answer that one. I'm like, but
no answer is wrong. That's the whole point.
No. That's the whole point of conversation. But I just think like I define me.
Yeah.
And I had an experience with this, so I think that's the reason why I'm so like.
No, it's just interesting because this is how you people, you know, we're learning. We're learning how to learn people. So you don't define yourself based off of your relationship.
Because I went through a relationship where I did do that, and that took me down a long road of finding who I am. Yeah. You feel what I'm saying? So now
I don't know that as much because I did that in my marriage. I know who I was after a while.
Yeah. So for me, that's very. When I hear stuff when define and relationships, I tread. It's just like I'm a little leery to say that. I'm very. You know, it's very important for me to know who I am and hold my own in a sense, and not really use other people or say that this person and that person can define me because they don't know. They know me. I'm sounding like Maya, my friend Maya. She's like, y'all know me like that. Shout out to Maya.
She does.
But I don't know. It's deeper than that because only I know me in the core of who I am, and I'm still learning who I am. So ultimately, nah.
Okay, that's real. I mean, that's real.
Yeah.
What's the next question? The next question I posed was, do you depend on others for happiness? And this is a big, how do people?
No. Yeah. For happiness.
Your true answer is no?
Your true answer is no?
They contribute, but they don't.
That's real. I can honestly say that, yes. Like, it's getting a lot better now to where I'm reaching, like, a no. But it's been very difficult for me to not depend on people for happiness.
It's experience because I've been in a very dark place because I was dependent on other people to make me feel good and to help me.
We've all been there.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So now I would never give somebody that much power.
Right.
My happiness is mine.
Yeah. It takes experiences to get there. And I always, when I say, with the toe with that, we had one person that said yes, and everyone else who voted said no. Which I found that pretty interesting because I'm like, some of y'all lying. Right? Some of y'all are lying.
Nah, y'all may be telling y'all shit.
Cool. Right, you may have worked through that and got through that, but I know me personally, based off of how I was raised, how I people, and how I do life, I was kind of taught to be so giving of self, to be so
selfless.
And so in that aspect, I rely on people to like pour into me because I pour so much into others. So I'm looking for you to like fill my cup.
Yeah.
And so that's
but they won't.
I'm learning that.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Once I got that,
fill
me
my
depending
cup,
on others for happiness brought me into a depression, and I was in there for 2 years and nobody knew.
Girl, I feel you.
So I'm like, I would never give some. No.
Yeah, the type of person I am is just like, I do for you, and sometimes I be sitting there and be like, well, why you don't do this for me? You know, like that's kind of how I people, and I'm working.
It's a learn
on that.
I'm like Chloe.
Oh yeah, it's a lot better now. But I could definitely say like, oh yeah, heck yeah, I depend on people for happiness. Why? Because I make people happy. Shit. So y'all better make me happy. I know it's a horrible way of thinking. That's
it's
how
not.
People,
no, but
that's
that's how I was, and I'm just thinking like, people they will let you down every time,
girl.
And I'm just like, but I give you so much.
I'm such a good person,
and I'm like, why you
don't matter?
Like,
because people be going through their own shit. So.
Yeah,
I would say
that's the
I feel like the same. I'm the same way. I feel like mine is not really people. I think mine is more so like my person. Like if I'm in a relationship with somebody, like it's more so like the intimate, like the
Of
relationship.
Course, yeah.
It's not really. I don't really depend on like friends and stuff like that, just because experience.
Oh yeah,
you know
not
like
yeah.
but
when I talk,
yeah.
I definitely don't mean friends, because I mean naturally my friends always make me happy. You would not be my friend if you didn't.
That's so sweet.
So yeah,
Bitch, I got a whole bunch of hope. No, I'm just playing.
No, when I'm speaking, I'm definitely speaking on like an intimate partner.
Right. Yeah, definitely. And I'm learning, and I've learned, and I feel like I'm growing the same as you, Chloe. I feel like I'm growing to understand that it isn't the best, especially with mines, because
it isn't realistic.
It's not, because how you know I'm having a good day?
Yeah.
You can't count on me to make you happy if I'm not happy.
Yeah.
So
it isn't realistic.
I gotta respect your space. You gotta respect mine.
Because someone, you do come home one day, or you having a bad day, he having a bad day too, and it's just like I can't.
Who gonna live today?
Right.
Exactly. Right. And I think it's important to communicate that too. Like communicate that to your partner that that's what you do, so that way they can observe that and be like, okay, yeah, that's what you're doing right now.
And a good thing if you do have this problem, not only in your relationships but in your friends, I just kind of feel like, when you look for happiness from other people, if that's something that you want to do or you're continuing to do, a good thing that you can do is try to figure out, maybe there could be subtle things that a friend does or a romantic partner does that they feel like is making you happy, but you're not receiving it. And that's another big aspect of like, how do people, which kind of like love languages in a sense. Like, I'm doing this, like a person could be saying, but I'm doing this. Why is that not making you happy? And the other person is just like, but that's not how I receive happiness.
That's not what I want. That's what you want. Yeah. That's what you think.
But that's how people, which brings us back to why communication is so important, because one person should let you know, like, this is what I do to show you that I love you. And the other person's just like, this is what I need to feel love. So
and if you care,
then you'll do that.
But if you don't, and then that's a choice. Life is full of choices. And then when you get those, that's just how I am type of people.
Right.
That's just how I am.
And if you're willing to like accept that from that person, it's like, that's all fine. But you do have to understand how someone peoples to understand like who they are. Like, that's why it's definitely important. Like,
to be able to even accept them, because you're always gonna bump heads. No one's perfect. Like, you're not gonna
y'all don't mesh like
exactly. No two
like
people will mesh like that. There's always gonna be something. And if you go back and look at it, you'll see like the people that you mesh with, it's because you gave them grace. You know,
and you took time to understand
exactly
who
and accept them
for
how they
people.
What's the next question?
Coming in full circle. Okay, next question. Ooh, this was a good one. Yeah. Do you take it personal when someone is upset with you? Let me repeat it again.
For me, it's 50-50. Like, it depends on who you are. Okay. Like, if you're closer to me, then I'm going to take it personal. But that's just because I'm taking it personal don't mean it has nothing to do with you. That's just how I am. I got to work that out in myself.
That's real.
But other people, it's like, if you mad, okay, be mad.
Yeah.
I'm still gonna go to bed. I'm completely like, when it's, because I'm like how you are, like, but I'm such a, like, I don't warrant any of this. Like, when I feel like I don't do nothing, I take it personally. Like, of course, if it's a random person, I'm like, okay, they sick, I don't know who they are. But like, anything, like, if you're upset with me and I didn't do you nothing, then I'm going to take it personal, because then I feel like it's a personal problem. Yeah. But if I've done something, then I can definitely own that shit and apologize and move forward. Yeah. But if it's like just you want to be mad and I can't do anything about it, it will bother me, because my intention, like, I feel like I have to, that's not right. Like, cause I feel like I'm justifying myself. Like, I have to explain, like, that's not my person. That's not even my character. Right. Know? So it is personal.
Facts. Yeah, I am, yes. Do I take it personal when someone is upset with me? Yes. And I used to be so bad at the fact that knowing that I know I didn't do anything wrong, and I still try my hardest to like fix it, knowing that I didn't do anything. Like, I'm learning now. Like, I've been 2019, the end of 2019, beginning of 2020 has been like a big therapy session for Chloe and herself. And I'm just kind of learning that, thank you. I'm just learning that when people do something to you, or when people are mad at something or upset at something, most of the time it's on them. It has nothing to do with you, how they respond. Now, I'm not saying that you probably didn't do anything to affect them, you know, because I try to take that in stride too. Like, maybe I don't know what I did to upset you, but if you're not going to tell me, then I'm just going to have to, I can't fix it. But at the same time, it's just kind of like, how you're choosing to respond to whatever I did is personal.
Yeah.
It's always personal. No matter what I did, it's always personal on your end. So it's just, but that's taken a long time for me to get through because yes, I do take it super personal when people are mad at me because like you said, Lauren, like I didn't do anything to warrant this. I know I ain't do nothing to warrant this. So now I'm all in my feelings and you going out about your day and I'm sitting here like, what did I do?
It's a journey. It's honestly a journey. It's really about the power. Just realizing that, you hold if you haven't done anything wrong, like you can't allow people to put power over you.
I'm such a fixer. Like I'm such a caring person. Like that's how I people. Like I'm such a fixer.
Me too. Yeah.
So that's why I do take it personal when people are upset because I'm gonna do everything in my power to make it right. Because I like for my life to be on it. I ain't been in like super like drama or tit for tat stuff. Like I don't go through that stuff. So when things like that do occur, I'm just like, oh no.
What can I do to fix it?
Yeah, and why?
But even that with that, and what's helping me because I'll get anxious and I'll be depressed about something like that.
Same.
So what I've had to learn to do to save myself because no one's worried about me as much as I should be worried about me.
Yeah.
So it's like if that's the space that you're in, I have to allow you to be in your space like that.
That's the key.
And then when you're finished, then.
Yeah.
Okay. Then now it's like, okay, so we can move forward or like, let's discuss a different way. If it affected me enough, let's discuss a different way to, cause I respect you and I respect your journey. I respect everyone's journey now. I don't take anything personal unless you're close to me.
Yeah.
So when it's personal, then it's like, okay, anything could be fixed with a conversation.
Yeah.
So I allow people to get their thoughts together, get their emotions on track, because they may say something to me that they don't mean, but it was because I'm trying to overfix the situation and I drove them to speak out of spite instead of talking to me in a peaceful place.
Yeah.
So I just be like, all right, take your time. All I can do now for people, especially because I have to do that with Derek too, like if he's upsetting me or if I'm sad, I just have to give you space and time. Let's talk later.
And think about it. Think clearly about it.
Get your thoughts together.
Yeah.
Exactly. I had an experience today that will completely relate to this exact what we're talking about right now. And at the end of the day, I went away with it and stepped away from it like I didn't do anything. I didn't exert any type of negative energy that I have to go home and feel bad about.
Yeah.
Because that's the only thing that I will feel bad about in situations is that I said something.
Yeah.
Now I have to come back and there's nothing wrong with apologizing, but it's like now I feel bad because that's not who I am.
Yeah.
But in this specific situation, it's exactly what give you space. Like you clearly going through something because what you did did not warrant. I did not warrant. I didn't warrant any of what you're doing right now. So I know that that's on you. So the negative energy you put out and you put towards me is contributing to my blessings. One and two, that's on you. That's what you have to deal with and go home with and sleep at night with. I don't have to, so I can sleep well knowing that I did.
Because you will rip yourself apart trying to figure
and
it out.
I used to. I used to.
Do anything wrong.
Yeah, I have to tell myself a lot when people are like get upset with me for certain stuff. What makes me feel better, I totally agree with Sanara about giving people like grace and time to kind of deal with their emotions or whatever. But I'm not going to press the issue because I know, like I said in the beginning, what I did wasn't intentional. So if there is an issue or a problem, I can sit here and say like, but I know what I did or said was not intentionally meant to hurt you. Right. So whenever you're going through or you're done having your spasm, you can come talk to me and I can tell you what I was implying or what I was meaning. But other than that,
Excellent.
That's what it is.
So let's do the last question because this is the one that was literally split decision.
Oh yeah. Do you take it personal when people are upset with you? That was kind of split too. That was right down the middle.
Yeah.
The last one was do you jump into conclusions quickly? Because this has a lot to do with like upbringing as well, and how
warriors. That's where it comes from. Having parents who worry and who be assuming shit.
Yeah.
I will mentally jump to conclusions. But I'll keep a chill front and be like, you know what?
I did not used to be like that. I jumped right there in the flesh. Okay.
Yep.
Same. I'm just like Sanara, and I'm still like that to this day.
Yeah, me too.
I don't know when I'm gonna get over that, but
I don't know. But as long as it's in the forefront, I'm good.
Right. I mentally jump into conclusions, but I don't act on stuff quickly. No. I'm very good with kind of
got better at that.
Yeah.
Last year was my
give
year.
It time.
Last year was my year.
Because when feel the same way. I didn't used to be like that, like I said, but once you give it time, you're able to see like the real. Like you actually able to see like how people really feel. Like you give it the moment, then you'll see that you're tripping. That you're the one that's overthinking shit.
Yeah.
And then from there, you like, okay, well, let me step back. Next time, let me wait. And that's what I've learned because I definitely
jumping into conclusions quickly, especially the day of when something happens. I feel like a part of you has created these like these
imaginary story
like, in your head. So it's silly. And by the time you actually meet the person to talk to them about it, they're like, what?
And I honestly, what I would say is, what I used to do is I used to talk through it. Like I will talk through my thoughts.
write it out. I'm a journaler.
And then once you hear yourself, you're like, bitch, that sounds so stupid.
Right.
Or like that's when you have your friend like, am I crazy or
I do that all the time.
Yeah.
Am I tripping or is this valid? Is this a valid?
Right.
Yeah.
Can I go off or no?
Right.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. Real quick, how sensitive are y'all on a scale from 1 to 10?
Like an 8.
I'm 1,000% nah. I don't know. I feel like it's situational. I feel like it just depends on the situation.
I'm thinking of somebody.
But even sensitivity can be described as rage, crying, happy, sad. Yeah.
All of
so
that.
It can be so many extremes.
Yeah. I think I'm a straight 9-10 when it comes to my sensitivity. I'm
only
very
a 9,
sensitive.
10 now. I mean, I'm only an 8 now. Last year it was definitely.
But see, I don't mind being at a 9-10 when it comes to sensitivity because
that's why I'm like,
what I love about it is I'm very transparent. So it's just like when I'm hurt, you're gonna know I'm hurting, or when you do something,
and I'm gonna tell you why.
Exactly. So I don't mind being sensitive. Sometimes in some situations, I do wish that I was light tough because it's like, you know what, that person don't even deserve.
But again,
this energy
in the forefront, I will not be. But I'm a cry in the car type of person.
No, seriously, I'm
depending on who it is. Sometimes I'll break down. But I will the day I called Jada crying at my job, like I ran out of the building because I was like, y'all will not have the satisfaction to see a tear fall down my face.
Right. Facts.
Never. I will run away.
I feel the exact same way. I will be sensitive in my head, but I will rarely vocalize it. I have done that in the past, and when you vocalize shit and then people call you sensitive, that shit pisses me off.
Oh my God, yeah.
So I just talk through it, and I'll talk to my boyfriend or I'll talk to my friends about it, and then I'll just work through it. Like, that's it.
Yeah.
But I'm probably like a 10.
With y'all being sensitive, do you understand sensitive people?
Absolutely.
Do you understand people who are not sensitive?
Absolutely. Because it's like, this is how simple it is, and this is how I people now, because I people totally different. I understand every side of, I might not understand it, but I respect everyone's decision, it's so super, my mom called it like a hippie vibe, but it's not, it's just like, it's not my journey, it ain't got nothing to do with me. Yeah. Unless I had something to do with it, then we could talk about it, communication. If you don't want to talk to me, I can't help you. If I can't fix it, but I'm only focused on me personally and what I put out.
I struggle with that. I struggle with me being
it's
so
a
sensitive.
Struggle, but
I struggle with people who
good.
are not, because I'm just like, but why doesn't this affect you?
I won't deal with you.
Why doesn't this?
I won't deal with you.
And that's the key. I think as we wrap up the show, I think the key to all of this is just knowing that people differently.
You gotta be okay with that.
You either okay with it or you don't deal with them. That's the moral of the story. Like, understand that people are different. They're gonna move different. They're gonna act different. You can choose to stay around this person and get to know them and kind of, run life with them, or you could choose to be like, you know what?
God
I can't deal with this. This is too much people for me. So I'm out.
Your people and don't.
Or I just don't understand how you people.
Yeah, I don't.
I'm not.
I don't have the energy to pour into to figure it out.
Participate in this anymore.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
I'm tapping out.
It's a choice. Why would I sit here and be upset and confused because I can't understand you when I could just not deal with you? And I'm like, back in Happy Land.
Exactly. And that's the whole purpose of the show today, was to alleviate the emotional stress and for you to let go of emotional baggage based on another person.
Right.
Because what is the point, like Sonar just said, what is the point of you carrying emotional baggage or feeling away because of the way another person acts?
Yeah.
Like
someone else. You gonna let someone else control you?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I used to always say, man, people be making me and people do this and can't nobody make you do nothing.
Exactly.
You have control over yourself. So understanding that everybody's different, I think will help.
Get to that sensei level. Okay?
Yeah. And the whole point of those questions was for you to kind of figure out who you are
and
how you people and how you people and to
people.
see if it relates, to the people in your life and how you choose to deal with things. So we hope you got something out of it.
Like, is this a woman thing or maybe I'm tripping? So when I seen the results, I was like, okay, I ain't off the scale.
No, even if I was, it helps you. I should have shared with the results with everyone, and I can do it. I screenshotted the results, so you can kind of see how people matched up to your answers. Yes. You'll be surprised that everyone kind of feels the same. Some people feeling different, but
and there's some people like, you
different, right?
Oh my gosh,
such a great show!
First day back in the studio.
Yes.
I love it.
As always, follow, like, subscribe, share, tell a babe.
We back in the studio now, so we more consistent.
Okay,
I'm not
quality,
not with the bullshit no more. We are back.
Absolutely,
never bullshit.
Y'all,
never be on bullshit.
Just delays.
Okay.
So what's our handles at? Instagram at Brown Sugar Babe Pod.
Yeah.
On everything, huh?
Just, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Just no, we're not even gonna say that. Just gonna be honest with y'all. Just follow the Instagram page because we can tell y'all to follow Twitter and Facebook. To be honest, we are not that active on that. We're gonna get better, but when we do get better, we're gonna tell you to follow those. But in the meantime, just follow Instagram Brown Sugar Babe Pod. That's when you can see all of our stuff. We do Tuesday takeovers. We shout out babes on Wednesdays. We have a whole social media schedule. So that is the best place to follow us for any and all things Brown Sugar Babe. Get your sprinkle of brown sugar. That's right.
Yes, as always, y'all, drink your water.
Mind your business.
Mind your business.